as a young person,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the many young people in Kenya and around the world also who are becoming very suspicious of religion. And they do embrace maybe other forms of what you can call like mystical identities, but in terms of what we can call like core religion, they kind of are staying away from that. Maybe you can tell us about what the value of religion could be to a young person.
It's a heavy question. It's not so simple. First of all, this is not a Kenyan problem. This is a worldwide problem that people are becoming very non-religious and very religious at the same time. You have two very, very extremes. It has to do with a lot of things that have to do with technology and the world becoming very, very global, everybody being exposed to everything. And kids are exposed from a very young age to being able to think on their own. When I was a kid, the answer to a lot of questions was because you're told to do so. You know, God tells you to do this, so you do it. And that was an answer that worked, even for my generation, you know, and the further you go back, it applies more. But it's very, very, very hard to connect when it's because I told you so. And people want answers, especially younger kids, teenagers want answers, want to be able to think. Judaism is based off of questions, okay? One of our holiest nights in the year is Passover. And the commandment of Passover is to tell the story of our people to your children and to encourage them to ask questions. We do 1,000 things that night that are to provoke questions. We do a lot of strange customs that we wouldn't do during the year so that the kids will ask, why are we doing this? Because asking, why are we doing this, is the basis of thinking. It's the basis of religion. And if you're willing to think for yourself, you're going to be able to get to a very different place. I think that the importance of religion, as a religious person, the importance of religion is there's real value to it. There's the truth. You follow the truth, you go with it, you understand it. There's a lot to that. And from a non-religious place, it connects you, okay? I was on the border of not being religious, okay? And in Judaism, it's a very serious thing. But my parents are amazing, wonderful people. And their approach is, I do it because I'm told so. And for me, that didn't resonate as well. And I was starting to leave because I was not willing to accept because I told you so. It doesn't resonate with the thinking young mind that is all over the world now. And I got to learn in a Hasidic environment by a good friend of mine, Rav Yonatan Hirsharen, who brought me in, and we talked a lot about the different approaches in Judaism. And a lot of it actually, like, you can find it in your own religions in different places, but there's two aspects of worshiping God. There's a pasuk, a passage that says, "Ki ma Hashem Elokecha rotzeh mimach, ki im la'ava oto v'le'ira oto." What does God want from you but to worship Him, to love Him and to fear Him? Now, the fear Him is actually a mistranslation. It's to respect Him, okay? And this is important because a lot of times when I have conversations with Christians, the misunderstandings that we have has to do with translation, is the fact that you're reading it from a translated Bible, you end up having only one approach. If you take the word ira'ah and you turn it into fear, then God is a vengeful God. God is a scary God. But if you take the word ira'ah and it means also respect, then you can understand the different relationship. And I sat and talked with him a lot about this, with my rabbi about this, about these two different approaches. And the approach of ira'ah, of respect, is very much how you should approach, let's say, your father. Your father asks you to do something, you do it out of respect. You're not afraid, usually, that he's going to beat you or kill you if you don't do it. But you respect your father to do something because he asked you to do it. But if your child asks you to do something, you do it out of love. And it can be the same action, your child, your wife, you're doing it out of a different place. Now, it's not that I don't love my father, and it's not that I don't respect my wife, but it has to do with that understanding of if I'm taking out the trash for my father, or I'm taking out the trash for my wife, it's the same action from two very different places, right? Even if I'm doing it so my father doesn't need to take out the trash or my wife doesn't need to, they're different. One is respect, one is love. And the question is, why am I worshiping God? Why do I do anything for God? Okay, and this is a big basis in Judaism is it's not that God is here to do things for me, it's I'm here to do things for God, okay? And this is a big, like, if you understand, it's a big theological argument between Judaism and other monotheistic religions. I am here to serve God, okay? So how am I doing it? Am I doing it out of respect or out of love? Am I afraid of the consequence of punishment if I don't do something? Or am I doing it because I genuinely love God and want the world to be better? I want God to have that pleasure. And once I understood that, a lot of things changed in my life because I was no longer doing things out of fear or obligation. I was doing things because I want to. So when I woke up to go in the morning and pray, I wasn't dragging my feet, I was going dancing, okay? I was dancing and skipping my way to shul, to the synagogue, because that was something that I wanted to do as opposed to being forced to do.